Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz, and welcome to today's IG Live. I am sharing life lessons from my book, Transformation. The second message that I want to talk about from Transformation is about free will. Basically, we're diving into whether things are a choice or a willing obligation. Thank you, Marvin and author Natasha Fraser, for joining me. So, this is what we're diving into. Is it a choice or will an obligation? Now, I know I'm not the only person that grapples with this. It's about navigating between what we want to do and what we feel obligated to do. And we all know how those obligations can sometimes make us feel. Well, let's kind of explore this a little bit. Choice is about consciously deciding to do something because it aligns with your values, your desires, or your goals. On the other hand, will and obligation is when you take on responsibilities because you genuinely want to do it, even if it's not easy. So it's a genuine want to do it, even if it's not easy. When you make choices, though, you take control of your life. So every time you make a choice, you're controlling your life, not someone else. It's about actively deciding what you want, setting your goals, and making decisions that align to your goals, which is aligning to your true self, your authentic self. Your choices reflect your priorities and your passions. This can be incredibly empowering when you make decisions and choices based upon what really resonates with you, not what's resonating with someone else. Now, a will and obligation is different from a burden. We're saying will and obligation, not that we're just doing it because we feel like we've got to do it. It's about taking on responsibilities and commitments because you genuinely want to do it, not because you have to. Now, we all have taken on responsibilities not because we wanted to, because we felt we had to. Now, when you're doing it because you want to, sometimes you'd be like, but we do it for our families, our relationships, and even our work commitments. The key here is doing what makes you happy, that aligns to your goals, that align to your genuine self, and doing it from that stance instead of out of a stance of pressure. Meaning my family's putting pressure on me, my significant others putting pressure on me. I feel a sense of pressure from my job and that I have to do something. So finding that balance, I think about the Libra scale or the scales of justice. Trying to find that balance is often kind of challenging because you're weaving and bobbing, trying to stay level. But it's possible. And when you can reach that balance, that's where the magic begins. It's like the wonderful world of Disney. This is where the magic begins. It's about aligning your choices with your values and taking on obligations that resonate with you. So what am I saying? What is Todd saying? It's about you. You got to make decisions that are about you. And when you make decisions that are about you, then you're operating at your optimum, which then means you can help other people. So never think it's selfish when you make decisions about you. So how do we make this happen? The first thing is you've got to reflect on your values. Take the time to understand what truly matters to you. Your values guide your choices and obligations, but they also change. Thank you for joining me. I'm probably mispronouncing your name, but thank you for joining me. They guide your choices and your obligations. Set clear goals. Now, we know we need goals, and then we go off kind of half cocked, and it's like, oh, I don't know why this happened to me. Well, you didn't have a goal, and you're just living life like this. I must say that a different way. Living life like you have all the time in the world, and everyone is going to be right there for you when you're ready to come in out the rain. No, you have to Set goals. Set your goals because that's going to define what you achieve personally and professionally. Your goal should be the compass that guides all of your choices. So, in other words, I want to do X. Does this align to my goals? If my compass, my heart, and mind are in agreement and they say yes, then I'm going to do that. But if my mind, heart, mind are not in balance, they're not lining up, then perhaps I should reconsider whether or not I want to do that, even though it may be a great thing, but it may not be a great thing for me. Third, prioritize self-care. Remember, self-care is not an option. It's a choice and it is an obligation, a willing obligation. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of you, it doesn't matter how well your plan is laid out. You're not going to be able to execute it at the level that you want to execute it at. So make sure you take care of yourself so you can fulfill your obligations and your choices effectively. No more burnout. No more burnout. So you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay? Then reassess. Life changes. It changes from moment to moment, day to day. It's changing and we're adjusting to it, but it's impacting us physically. It's impacting us intellectually. It's impacting our emotions. So you have to reassess regularly because what I thought I was going to do in 2023, I may not be able to do that now because life has shifted. So reassess regularly so that you're not going left still when you should have course corrected and just go straight. So reassess. Also communication. Open and honest communication is key, especially when it comes to obligations. But the first person you're going to have to communicate with is yourself because you got to make sure that you're making decisions based on your values, based on your goals, and what your plan is. So you got to communicate with yourself. We often think about communicating outside of ourselves, but you got to communicate with yourself first because how can I communicate with someone else when I'm not sure about what I want? I got to know before I can communicate it to someone else. And then after all of that, stay true to your path. That's the reason we are reassessing. Stay true to your path. That's the reason why we got to do some self-care. Because when we fall off that self-care wagon, we may agree to anything. Remember, no, N-O, is a complete sentence because you must stay true to your path and not be pulled over onto someone else's path, okay? No is a complete sentence. You have the right, let me empower you. You have the right to make decisions that are in your best interest. That is not being selfish. That is being mindful about who you are, what you're wanting to grow into, and what may potentially prevent that. It's about you. It's not about anybody else. When you're operating at your best level, the best version of yourself, then you can help other people. But until then, can you really help anybody? Or are you just taking on other people's goals, other people's concerns, other people's issues, and you getting smaller and smaller because you can't take anymore? No. You can tell them, no. Complete sentence. No. No explanation needed. No. No. So, choose to be your authentic self. You owe it to yourself. I would love to hear from you about strategies that you've used as it relates to willing obligation. Hi, Titus. Thanks for joining me. Willing obligations or whether you've made choices. Drop them in the comment sections because, again, we all learn from each other. And you may have a strategy that someone needs. So please ask questions in the comment section. Pay close attention to the IG reels or my posts. I got a special that's happening right now. So let me tell you because you may not notice it. Oh, what I'm doing is this. For every copy of my book that's purchased, Transformation, what I'm doing is I am giving you a free 15-minute consultation. You just have to show proof of purchase because I want to help you reach your goals. I want you to feel comfortable making decisions and not feel that pressure that you have to do something a certain way in order not to lose, quote unquote, individuals that are a part of your life. You shouldn't have to compromise all the time. There is some compromise in life, but you shouldn't have to compromise what you want all the time. And if you're having to do that, something is amiss. Something is amiss. And I hear T.D. Jakes in my head say he's got the gift of goodbye. That's what T.D. Jakes said. He got the gift of goodbye. Because sometimes we have to say bye-bye, bye-bye. Because it shouldn't be that you have to give up everything in order to have that person in your life. If you do, we might want to work on that and see if that person is good for your life. So I am giving you, again, just to reiterate, for every purchase of my book, Transformation, I am giving you a 15-minute free consultation. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know that you're making choices and you're taking on willing obligations that align to who you are authentically, your goals, your values, and you're communicating with yourself constantly to make sure that you're still in tune with what you want to do, and you're practicing self-care. That is so important. So, before you help someone else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.